an opinion, a large percentage of that people who are watching are going to agree with my opinion.
Say both.
Just based upon what I said. You see what I'm saying? So when hip hop artists put out those CDs, man, you don't know how many people you got. I mean, it's incredibly powerful for you to stand up in front of, and y'all done shows when you got 1,000 people and you say, wave your hands in the air, and everybody wave their hands in the air.
Yeah.
Man, that's a cold lick. That's a cold lick. That shows how much power you really have. So you really are role models, even if you don't want to be. Because people listen just based upon, I like your song. Man, I really felt him on that one. You know what I'm saying? And you make that connection with the music. I mean, that's what the high is. You know what I'm saying? That's why artists do what they do, is to make that connection. Like, man, he could feel what I'm saying. She could feel what I'm saying. The whole room could feel what I'm saying. Everybody in the concert hall is rapping my song.
Right.
That's power, man. That's power, straight up. Now we want to jump into the next piece, which is on page 17 of the Final Call newspaper. And it reads, The Psychological Implications of Using the N-Word. And it's written by a guest columnist, Brother Harry R. Davidson, who's a PhD and a brilliant psychologist. And it's dealing with, of course, a very controversial topic, the N-word. And I'm going to just read this first paragraph and we'll jump right in. So the recent uproar over Reverend Jesse Jackson's use of the N-word, a word some folks would like to abolish from the language, suggests an avoidance of deeper issues. All words have legitimacy, and one would assume that intelligent people are capable of discerning the proper use of words. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has apologized for comments he made about Senator Barack Obama. Reverend Jackson accused Senator Obama of talking down to black people. He specifically took issue with how he has singled out black men for failing to uphold their responsibility as fathers. Jackson's words were recorded by a live microphone. In a statement issued by Obama's campaign, he accepted Jackson's apology. And this is a big uproar, a big brouhaha. The enemies of our people's rights were trying to really get Reverend Jackson and Obama in what was supposed to be a fight. It didn't happen. The question I have for you, brothers, is as aspiring artists, we use the N-word in our raps. What are your feelings on it?
I think when it comes to the N-word, it's kind of similar to the way we look at the evolution of hip hop. It's like there's those who lived it. There's the people who, the old heads who are offended by the word. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to hear that word. But the newer generation is like the word is just thrown around like it's just nothing. You know what I mean? And kids are brought up that way. I was brought up that way. I say the word loosely like it don't even mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and when I actually sit down and think about it, you know what I'm saying, I got to apologize to myself just for being a product of my generation. Because being around people that's going to throw the word around, you know what I'm saying, when you're 5 or 6 years old, it makes it seem like it's okay. That's kind of like a kid who grew up on hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of music, this is how we need to live, this is how we need to rap, this is the kind of stuff we need to bob our heads to. And the N-word, it's like you got to grow, and if you don't educate yourself on the word, you know, on the background of this thing, you ain't going to stop using it. But by the time you try to put forth the effort to educate yourself on that, it's so cemented in you that, you know what I'm saying, that some people wouldn't even be interested in trying not to say the word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We done found other words to even say to each other. I call them bro now, you know what I'm saying? I used to call them the N-word all the time. What up, my, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now it's like, what up, bro?
Right.
And now it's turned statewide. I hear everybody saying it now. You know what I mean? And I mean, hopefully there's a decrease in the amount of use that we take on this word, but I mean, the new generation, everybody's just like this until they educate themselves.
True indeed. Brother Rocky, same question.
Like, I couldn't even tell you how I start. I don't know. Like, I'll say it. I'm serious. I'm just being real. I'll say it, you know what I'm saying? But the bad part about it is when I say it, sometimes it's just another word. Like, I don't even know I'm saying it. But then when a white person says it, it's like, oh, hold on.
Right.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It's like a double standard. Like, but I think if the white people can say it, nobody should be able to say it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of older heads would be like, but this and that, we use this to terms of endearment, stuff like that. But I think if we can't say it, I mean, they can't say it, nobody should say it. Because nigger, like, I was brought up as the word nigger being ignorant. So why'd I be like, what's up, my nigga? Why like, it's pointless. So for, I don't think like a lot of younger white people, if they like who say it, because I know some say it, I don't think they really understand what the word means. So they probably just hearing people say it at school, which you can't blame them for. So
the way I see it, when people say, you know, we use it, but then we get offended when other people use it, that just goes back to the way kids were brought up. Like, people have always told us that it was bad when somebody, you know, of a different race called you the N-word, but they never said that you shouldn't don't call your brother that. You know, my grandmother used to say that, you know, every once in a while or whatever, but it wasn't really something that, you know, we took that serious. We knew that, you know, other people of other race wasn't allowed to call us that. And I think that's the problem with most people in the world nowadays, is because they weren't taught nobody should say the word. They were taught, they used to call us that back in the day. We don't let them call us that now.
Right.
But for some reason, it's just a regular word in our vocabulary now. It's okay to call him that, but don't let him call you that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how the kids were brought up nowadays, and that's kind of why it's turned into this epidemic. The N-word is like a disease that's just spreading so bad, and we don't know what to do with it. So we couldn't do nothing but get immune to it and cope with it and let it be a part of us, because we wasn't brought up. I mean, we weren't given the vaccine when we were little. Right. You know what I mean?
And you know, I agree, man. The N-word, well, words themselves have power. And that word has been so poisonous in terms of our history in this country, to where, like you said, the older generation, they want to see it just destroyed from the face of the earth, destroyed from our vocabulary. But on the other hand, younger people have seized it, and like Rockie talked about, it's become like a term of endearment. And for some, that's okay. I'm not mad at people for, you know, doing whatever it is that they do. But I think that as a people, we have to just be really informed over what we say and how the words actually do have power. Nigga came from some ignorant, tobacco-chewing, overall-wearing white boy back in the day who mistakenly misread the word Niger, or Niger, which is the country in Africa. And so some of these people were from Niger, so he said, the niggas.
Well, he was a nigger.
And it stuck. But he was ignorant for mispronouncing the word.
So he was a nigger.
Like, this was something I never knew. What you just said to me was something new to me. So
Negro is Spanish.
It's for the color black. Right.
So you'll hear Negro, you know what I'm saying? But nigger is a deviation of a word. They just added a G to it, you know what I'm saying? But it should be Niger, which was a place where some of our people came from when we were brought to this country. So if we get educated over what we're saying, I mean, I'm not going to sit up there and say I never use the word, because I do. Most of the time, if I use it, I'm saying it in anger. That pissed me off or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But generally, I'll say Negro, because, and that has a whole other science to it. But that means black, and to me, that's a person who hasn't grown past the knee of an intelligent person, a Negro. You know what I'm saying? Because in truth, that's not what we are. That's something that they use to describe us, Negro. another root of the word. In English, certain letters are interchangeable. You can